What's up, world? This your girl, Venus Morris, coming to you straight out of Youth Radio, the Bay Area chapter. I am going to be interviewing Mr. DJ Platter. What does your typical work day look like?
My typical work day generally involves waking up probably a little bit later than most people do because I DJ for a living, and so my schedule is a little bit later than most people. I'm usually up till about 4 or 5 in the morning, so my work day usually starts around noon, as opposed to maybe 7 or 8 in the morning, like normal working folks. And so I produce music as well. So quite a bit of my day is usually spent involved around the computer, either making music, recording music, or just kind of working out, different possible gig scenarios or just kind of deals here and there, trying to make some music things happen. And so that, and on occasion I like to get myself outside and ride the bike and go get some food and whatnot. But really, a big bulk of my day is really just kind of centered around doing a lot of work on the computer. So unfortunately, bad posture, yeah, and in the studio, in my studio, I guess. Exactly.
Oh, okay. So how did you get into DJing?
I got into DJing probably just from being around a lot of DJ friends of mine. When I was in high school, I had a buddy that had a mobile DJ system and did a bunch of house parties and like school dances and stuff like that. So I got exposed to it first through that, and then I think, what was I, 18 years old. Right out of high school is when I first actually got my own equipment, and worked a lot. I remember my day job. I had to work a lot of hours in order to raise enough money to be able to buy the equipment that I wanted.
Where were you working at?
I was working for the YMCA, actually. I was working with kids, doing a bunch of different stuff, and it wasn't a whole lot of money. I think minimum wage back then that I started out was like $6.20, something like that. So it was pretty low, and I had to pull a lot of hours to pay for my beeper bill. And this is a while ago. Yeah, this is early '90s right here. So yeah, I guess that was 1994 when I was 18 years old, and I first kind of got my equipment and officially got started actually doing DJing and making music. So.
Okay. What's the worst part of this job?
What is the worst part of this job? That's a very good question. I think probably the worst part about DJing is when it feels like work. I know it might sound kind of weird, but see, ideally, my attitude and why I've done everything that I can do to kind of make this happen for myself. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Is because I wanted to do something that I love for a living, and so whenever it feels too much like work, that's when it sucks. I have to kind of remind myself that I'm still my own boss, and I'm very lucky that I can actually eat and live a pretty decent life off of doing what I love. And so whenever it starts to feel a little bit too much like work, that's kind of when I have to check myself, kind of take a step back and realize that, I mean, there's obvious things like, sometimes you're broke and that sucks, and you don't know where the next money is coming from, and that's very different than having a normal day job. You know that you're going to have certain money coming at a certain time, so that can be kind of hard. It's not always fun dealing with crazy people in the club. That's not always great.
I figured you was gonna say something about that. I wanted to hear a story about that or something.
Yeah, there's I don't know if I've got a lot of crazy stories involved with dealing with club patrons, but it's ups and downs. But honestly, I mean, for me, I love music a lot, and I love doing what I do, and so I consider that a big blessing that I'm able to do that. I've been DJing for 15 years and haven't had a regular job for 3 years. This is so it's going pretty good, So I can't really complain too much.
Sprinkles. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, you said you kind of tapped into what the best part is, but what is the best part of the job? I mean, I know the music and all, but
yeah,
like when it comes to seeing people's faces light up because of a song coming on or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, I I mean, honestly, my initial reason for starting DJing and what I always loved the most about it was that I was able to help people have a good time and just kind of, forget about their problems for a while. Go out for a night and just enjoy good music and not worry about, the hustle and bustle of day to day. I was always really into that notion that I could be that guy. I could be somebody that helped people forget their troubles and just enjoy themselves. And still to this day, I mean, that's still kind of the main reason why I do it. I mean, there's obviously different things now involved because it's my job and it's what I do for a living. And so, there's certain things you have to do in order to make sure that keeps going. But ultimately, the most fun that I have and the time that I'm the most happiest is when I know I'm doing my job really well and people are enjoying themselves fully. So that's a very meaningful thing for me. So.
Okay.
And music is just music. Music is it's a beautiful thing and it's universal and it connects people and it's probably the most positive thing that we have in life besides good food and family.
What kind of dough can be made in this industry?
In this industry, in the DJ industry,
Yes.
it's very broad. It's I mean, honestly, there's a lot of DJs out there that are working DJs that go out and play all the time that do gigs for free, so they don't get paid anything. Minimum usually you're probably not making any less than $50 to $100 for a night, so it's not terrible. Aside from DJing, if you have to DJ anywhere from kind of 2 to 4 hours and whatnot, you got to count in the time that you spend to get there and get home and the gas money or whatever is incorporated into that. So that's pretty decent. There's DJs out there in the world, like really big house music and techno music DJs that can get paid upwards of like $50,000-$60,000 just for one.
Yeah, for a rave.
Yeah,
for a rave.
yeah,
right?
just for like a big thing, like Tiesto and Paul Van. What's his Paul Van something?
Vin Diesel? No, let me stop.
But I mean, they make obscene amounts of money. It's a lot of money. $50,000 is a lot of money for a few hours worth of work.
Yeah,
so.
that is hella money.
Yeah, there was a guy. I think it was Tiesto. A couple of New Years ago, he played 2 New Year's gigs, and he made over $100,000 in one night.
2 New Year's gigs.
Yeah, 2 New Year's gigs. So he did a gig in one country, and got flown on a private jet to another country to do a gig in another time zone to meet the 12 o'clock thing, and I think he got paid around like $50,000 for each gig. So
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's getting Gouda.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't just be like a regular rinky-dink DJ.
No.
You gotta really know your stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to mix and match and put the right music together and make people feel right. Because
absolutely.
If you got everybody moving and grooving, and you get to that one song that just killed the whole party, you're gonna get booed, right?
Yeah, all the time, throwing stuff at you.
Oh gosh.
Doesn't happen to me because I'm not good, but I mean, it happens. So
before we sign off or whatever, I wanted you to give the students a couple of different pointers on how to be your own independent boss, and at the end you can also give them your website and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess really,
Look at the camera.
Honestly, for you to really, I feel like in order for you to really accomplish what it is you want to do in terms of becoming your own boss, aside from just the regular kind of basic business stuff that you need to learn, and those are things that in terms of managing your money and promoting yourself and all of those things, I mean, there's a lot of stuff involved with that, and there's a lot of information on the internet that you can look up just in terms of self-promotion. If you look up self-promotion within the music industry online at Google, you can find a lot of different information about how to do that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what you really want to focus on is make sure that you nurture and kind of maintain your individual style and personality behind what it is that you do. It's really important that if you're going to do music for a living and really get some fulfillment out of it and make sure that you're bringing it to the people correctly, is that is that you do it from the heart and do you. You know, don't try and do anybody else. Don't try and copy too many different things. Just be yourself and find your own voice and go from there. That's really that's the most important thing. And you know, stay positive about it too. Don't you know, we got enough negativity in the world. No need to bring any more of that into this planet of ours. So you know. So yeah. So DJPlattern.com. PLATURN.com with the letter D, letter J.
Okay. Well, I'm your girl Venus Morris, and this is
DJ Plattern.
DJ Platter, and we're signing off straight at East Radio Bay Area.